many years have you been doing wildlife art?
Oh, I started roughly in about 67. I'd heard about wildlife artists just kind of getting started at DU banquets. And so I went to a few banquets and kind of got started that way, and then it took off.
Well, your prints, if you go to any of the banquets, that's the #1 attraction is the Redlin prints. And
Hopefully.
being I'm from this area, you use a lot of the things from I guess our youth or your childhood. For instance, the Langenfeld ice cream.
Yeah.
That's in most of them because
your
wife's family. Exactly, and some of the farms, some of the signs are things that are actually from this area. So there is a lot of.
Yeah, it's the upper Midwest, the heartland country that I love to paint.
But I tell you what, your coloring, it looks better than the outdoors. It just jumps out and gets you. It's breathtaking.
Thank you. It's not photographic realism because I do it out of my head. So there's an element of romance that goes into the whole thing. Is kind of the ideal situations and the things I remembered in the field. It looks like I've got 21 boards that I'm working on right now. But what I do is I rough in my ideas on all of them at first in one part of the year, at the end of winter usually. Then I pick 4 or 5 and I start rotating back and forth and slowly build them all at the same time basically, so I can get a fresh look every week. I can pick a different one and look at it and make a few little changes until I feel they're done.
Look at the Redlin Art Center now. It's a tremendous piece of property, a tremendous thing for this area. You've got a lot of your originals and a lot of different things in it. Why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about that?
Okay, this whole thing started when my son got me to stop selling my originals because he had the idea of an art center after I died. And in the next 10 years, we acquired so many of these originals that for storage was a problem. It was taking up so much space, we thought, well, we may as well start earlier to build the center, and then so they'd be housed properly. And being we've got that grub stake from the state, after I lost my leg, they gave me free tuition for art school, which was the most expensive tuition there was at the time, was an art school. And my wife and I both realized that, give something back to the state if we have it out here. And we could do it because of the freeway. See, the city gave us a 30 acre of land out there. And it's prime land. And I wanted it used properly. But we're going to have hopefully all different types of wildlife out there for people to walk. And we've got the trails are all concrete, so a wheelchair can go a whole mile in the park all over the place. And, the tourism industry and buses is so much larger than I ever dreamt. We've had as many in one day. The maximum we've had was 12 buses coming in unannounced in one day in the summer. I mean, it would be multiple all the time throughout the summer. And now they're starting to schedule. See, we're on their steady routes. Because the feedback to the people have been so tremendous that they say, you got to get that on the must-see thing, and they're doing it all the time. That was something we never thought about.
If you have the opportunity to visit the Redlin Art Center in Watertown, South Dakota, you'll not only be amazed by Terry's artwork, but the building itself is a masterpiece. The Art Center is open throughout the year, and the admission is free. For more information on the Redlin Art Center, you can contact them at 1-877-T-Redlin or on the web at www.redlinart.com. I'd like to thank my sponsors and thank you folks for watching. We'll see you right here next week when we bring you another of our Outdoorsmen Adventures.